Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Stoddscast. I am your host, Christine Cernelia, aka Stodds. Now, if you are expecting something really fancy with this podcast, we are not quite there yet, but I am looking to get to the place where I have a nice, beautifully recorded intro, maybe with some music. But first, we need to get this thing better off the ground. And you can help me do that by rating the podcast, liking any posts that I have about it, commenting, and sharing it with a friend who may benefit from the information that I shared today. So, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for doing those things. And as my gift to you today, we are not going to do a chronic illness related episode. We are going to do a health and fitness related episode, which is how most of you who came to this podcast from following me on social media. That is how most of you know me, is my background in health and fitness. So today we're going to do a little Q&A style episode. I have 3 questions that were asked of me recently, and I am going to tell you how I responded to them, and help you think about how to best approach these situations if you find yourself in them as well. All right, first things first. I got a text from my friend who's training for a half marathon, and she said, I have a wicked cold. Should I work out? So she was feeling a lot of guilt because she knows that she has a half marathon coming up. She wants to perform her best in it. She wants to feel comfortable with the mileage, which means she wants to hit every single run that's in her training plan. And yes, you should do your best to hit every single run in your training plan. But sometimes life comes at you with different plans, and when you are sick, you're going to have to reshuffle some of your priorities. So that's what I talked to her about. Her number one priority of like, I'm going to complete this half marathon and I'm going to do my best at it needs to be temporarily like reprioritized. And the number one priority needs to be get better as soon as possible so that you're not doing this run in a substandard way, burning yourself into the ground further, and then missing your next workout as well because you just can't get yourself out of this sickness hole. So I basically told her, if your body's asking for rest, which it sounded like it was, she couldn't breathe through one of her nostrils, she wanted to be in bed all day. I was like, these are some signs. I wouldn't work out. If you feel like you will feel a little bit better from movement, maybe go outside, go for a walk. Movement can help get things to like just move through your body, but it can also add to fatigue if you push the intensity too much when your body's already trying to fight something off. So just try to keep those things in mind if you are feeling sick. Now, some instances where I would say it is a hard no, definitely don't work out if you have this going on. If you have a fever, pretty good sign you shouldn't be working out. If you're throwing up, pretty good sign you shouldn't be working out. Things like COVID, the flu, like I wouldn't. Anything that's like a little bit more serious and a little more taxing to your body, even if it may not feel super taxing to your body in the moment. Like I have people who are like, oh, I just had a really mild case of COVID, so like I kept working out. I don't know. Seeing how people can develop long COVID from really mild cases of COVID, don't know anyone that happened to, like maybe myself. I would take it easy in those cases, and missing a couple of workouts is not going to make or break you in the grand scheme of life. Now, when I would say I think you're good to continue with your workout for sure, is if you have maybe just like light symptoms, like upper respiratory symptoms, where you maybe have a runny nose, you have watery eyes, you have like a little bit of a headache, like maybe some sinus pressure. But once you like get yourself out of bed in the morning, you are tolerating the day and feeling decent, and you're not like feeling super run down and fatigued, you can probably do your normal workout. I would say don't go to a gym and do it. I would say stay away from other people. You don't want to be like excreting your bodily fluids, sweat included, while you're sick on shared equipment, even if you clean it up afterwards. I don't recommend that. But if you can get movement on your own, you may be able to help yourself recover a little bit faster if your body is in a position where it is not like debilitated by trying to get you better. So I hope that helps. If you find yourself sick, think through those things and determine whether a workout may or may not be the best thing for you. If you want to go super deep on that and like listen to studies about when you should work out versus not, I just gave you kind of a high level overview of what the answers are, but Andrew Huberman did a very deep dive episode on this, with like studies that you can reference if that's more your jam. So this is I gave you the answers, but if you want to do a deep dive, go ahead and take a listen to that. All right, another question I got. I'm on a medication that suppresses my appetite. How do you help your nutrition clients eat more when they know they should be eating more and are in this situation? Now, She is on a medication that is an antidepressant, and so the unintended effect of that is suppressing appetite. Some people take GLP-1s with the intended uh, side effect of suppressing appetite. That's the goal. So if you are trying to suppress your appetite actively, I would still recommend that you're doing things to try and like get enough calories and get enough protein in on a day-to-day basis. But you know, you're you're kind of meeting the goal. Like the expected outcome is that you have a suppressed appetite. So do with that what you need to do based on what your goals are. Now, when it comes to an antidepressant and you're not taking that because your goal is weight loss, you're taking it because, you're going through something, and then you just also have the unintended side effect of suppressed appetite. There are some things that you can do to kind of get yourself to eat and make sure that you're getting adequate nutrition in. So, what I recommended to her was instead of waiting for your body to tell you that it's hungry, eat at regular intervals. Say, I eat breakfast at this time, I eat lunch at this time, I eat dinner at this time, these are my snack times, and you have yourself something prepared and easy to eat in those moments. Then that will start to tell your body, like prepare it on a day-to-day basis that you are going to be eating at that time, and you'll start to get the signals that like this is when I eat. And hopefully some hunger will follow, especially as you're getting used to medication. This may be what happens. I also recommended that she get her like light health in a better place. So make sure that you are going outside at the sunrise, going outside at the sunset, going outside at least like once when the sun is a little bit higher in the sky, closer to like noon. Just telling your body what time of day it is will help counteract some of those symptoms or some of that appetite suppression. You'll start to send signals to your body of like, hey, I should be awake right now, I should be energized right now, and I need to eat in order to do those things. It may not be enough to counteract what you're doing, but it is a helpful additional signal to tell your body when it's time to eat. And if you want to like kind of override things a little bit further, you can make really easy to consume things and make sure that you're jamming them full of the nutrients that you need. So something that's really easy to do that with is smoothies, because you can put in some protein powder, you can put in some Greek yogurt, you can put in some like micronutrient heavy things like vegetables and fruits. You can put in some seeds, nuts, nut butter, all that kind of stuff to give yourself like a really robust meal that has a lot of the nutrients that you're looking to get throughout the day, but you might not be getting because you're not eating as much. So a smoothie makes that really easy. So does maybe overnight oats that you can put a lot of toppings on. Again, just kind of easy to consume. Doesn't even require a lot of chewing, but you can top it with things that have like higher fat content, higher micronutrient content, like some chia seeds and such, and get a little bit more of that nutrition in. And you can also focus on eating nuts and seeds a little bit more often too, because a few of them are going to have a little bit more calories than a few of like a carby snack necessarily. So you're getting little bits of that nutrition in over time. Avocados are also something that's great for this. You'll get some fats, you'll get some fiber, you'll get some micronutrients. So those were my kind of recommendations if you find yourself in this scenario, just trying to find easy things to eat and doing it at specific times and telling your body what time of day it is by going outside multiple times throughout the day to hit that signal. All right. And last but not least, I want to start working out with one of your programs. Whichever program delivers maximum weight loss, which one should I do? I love this question so much because this is something that I thought was like really well known, but it just reminds me that I'm in such a bubble on my corner of the internet where like I follow mostly health and fitness people, so it's not something that's stated all the time. So I should step out there and say it a little bit more often. When it comes to weight loss, there's not a best workout program for weight loss specifically. Weight loss comes from creating a caloric deficit. The best way to create a caloric deficit is by focusing on your nutrition. Definitely pairing it with workouts is going to help things further. And when it comes to workouts, I usually recommend that people prioritize strength training first, because strength training is going to take the calories that you are eating and put them towards building muscle. You'll burn some calories doing the movements themselves in your workout. Then you'll burn calories after the workout as your body is shunting calories to building that muscle instead of accumulating as fat. So I recommend focusing on your nutrition and lifting weights. as the primary factors. Now, there's more that you can do here. You can definitely layer in some cardio. I am not anti-cardio for weight loss. I just am saying primarily would focus on the strengthening element first, usually lifting heavy weights, so not more of like a body weight, feel the burn type exercise like a Pilates or like a yoga or anything like that. Like I would definitely recommend like picking up heavy things to be the first thing you fill your schedule with. Then you can layer in some of the other things on top, whether that's cardio, whether that's group exercise classes, things that you really enjoy. That's when you kind of layer those things in. That is my recommendation for like the best possible thing. Um, Also, I probably should have stated this. When I say caloric deficit, I mean you need to be like burning more calories than, or like eating less calories than you are using to exist on a day-to-day basis. So it's not just your workout calories, it's like your day-to-day existence calories that your body is burning. That's where you need to have that deficit, is that you are, you're consuming a little bit less than you're using on a day-to-day basis. You can do this with workouts that aren't strength training. You can do it, with Pilates. You can do it with yoga, etc. It's not going to be as efficient. It's not going to be, it can get you the results, but it will probably take longer. Now, when I say that I would like flip that a little bit is, let's say you're someone who just like does not want to strength train and you're never going to strength train. Okay, then I'm not going to recommend that you strength train, because if you're not going to do it, then any workout that you'll do is going to be better than like one that you won't. You'll get more results from doing Pilates 3 times a week than strength training 0 times a week, but you'll probably get better results from strength training 3 times a week than you would from Pilates. Although I know people get great results from Pilates too, and this is not like a Pilates bashing session, but when it comes to like truly building muscle, building bone density, build like having your body take calories and use them towards the building blocks of muscles, you're going to want to be strength training. So usually I'd recommend that like depending on how many days a week you have available to work out and how many days you've been consistent in working out before this is when I would then start to like plan what your workout schedule should look like. If you have 2 days a week to work out, I'm probably going to say strength train for both of them. 3 days a week to work out, maybe strength train 2, cardio 1, maybe even strength train just all 3 days. Once you get beyond that 3 day mark, if you have 4 days, that's when I'm like, okay, you probably want to do like 3 days of strength training, 1 day of cardio, start to mix something like that in, or mix in a fun yoga class, or whatever group exercise that you enjoy. Start to mix some of that other stuff in, but get that solid baseline of strength training in so that the calories that you're eating are used towards building muscle. You're going to get more of a toned look that way. You're going to burn more calories in daily life existing that way, and then layer in other types of exercise to help. Okay, but the big thing there is nutrition. Like you definitely need to be focusing on your nutrition. Again, can you reach your goals without focusing on nutrition? I guess, probably. It would take longer. Again, not be super efficient. I wouldn't recommend it. I would definitely recommend if you have a weight loss goal that you look at your nutrition. So all that to say, hopefully this helps you set the stage in your mind of like what is required for weight loss and for fat loss and how it's a combination of nutrition and exercise. And that's going to be like the most efficient way for you to get there. It's not like there's not like a maximum weight loss program that exists. It's not like, okay, if you do that high intensity interval training program 7 days a week, your fat loss is going to be like better than the person who's strength training 3 times a week. I mean, it might look like that in the short term, but I worry about how that would go long term. So I hope I gave you just some different things to think about when it comes to how weight loss and how fat loss actually occurs. Okay, those are the questions that I had for today. If you ever have questions that you want included on this podcast, let me know. I'll happily start compiling for another Q&A session in the future. And as I said at the top of the episode, please like, subscribe, leave a rating and review, engage with this. That's what helps other people see it and will help me get to a place where I can produce it a little bit better. Right now, I think the content is, fire because I talk about some really nuanced topics and you're helping people, get information from someone who's not saying to drink your own piss for your health. Uh, that kind of stuff does exist out there. But all that to say, this will, I do want to grow this thing and I want to get this in the hands of more people. So we've got to start getting it out there a little bit more. And I appreciate you being here and I appreciate your help in doing that. So until next time, enjoy the rest of your week and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.